Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekend video. We're trying to get this off early so everyone can enjoy this nice long weekend. We've got a lot of charts to go over today. Before I get started, though, I just want to mention, if I don't go over one of the swing plays, it does not mean I'm not in the swing play. It just means we ran out of time. I'm trying to keep these videos around 10 to 12 minutes. So if I don't mention the stock that we're in long on the swing, don't worry about it. You can always ask me what I think about it in the chat room. So we're going to start off today with the Dow 1 hour chart. And you can see I left up the notations I made here on the Tuesday video. And you can see going into quarter end and into the July 4th weekend, as is typically the case almost all the time, the market ended up pushing up. We were up 400, almost 500 points yesterday morning on the quotation marks better than expected jobs report. I could go into my thoughts on the jobs report. You know, when you lose 50 million jobs in the course of a couple of weeks, of course you're going to see some of those jobs come back. But just a quick note on that. That great jobs report that came out yesterday was only based on data for the first half of June. All those re-shutdowns that we've heard about did not show up. So we'll probably start to see that get priced into the market near term. Now, looking here at the 1 hour chart, we've got RSI getting ready to break down below 50. And if we scroll down a little bit more, you also see the same thing in stochastics. Now let's flip over to a look at the daily chart. Here is the daily chart. And like I said on Tuesday, we are stuck between the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average right now. We've got this band of about 1,000 points or so that we're probably going to go in and out. Now this is a bearish candle formation. Going into the close on Friday, we saw continued selling. And again, just looking down here, the red days continue to outdwarf these green days. And that is a potential cause for concern. Now, for the kind of stocks we trade, if the large cap stocks goes to sleep, you know, we get slightly up, slightly down, that is actually a great scenario as we wait to see whether they break down below the 50-day, which right now is that uptrend support, or if they're able to break us up above the 200-day moving average. If they break us above the 200, we're probably looking at 27K. If we break below the 50-day, we're probably looking at 22 to 23,000. So quite a range of possibilities we have here. Now, stochastics are trying to uptick, but we saw a similar uptick happen before, a down move before. So let's see what happens. Typically, we see some selling after the kind of move we've had this week, but especially given the action on Friday. But remember, the Fed put is in the market. The Fed continues to pump a lot of liquidity in there. Don't fight the Fed. Even though we're looking down the road, the Fed money always trumps what these charts are saying. Now, before we jump off of this, J-O-B, speaking of jobs, we actually jumped into this play, and Friday we finally got paid. Why Friday everyone decided to chase it? You know, there was a press release about debt, but still, we couldn't give this stock away at 45 to 50 cents, and they were chasing this at 250 at one point on Friday before it imploded. We took our money and we ran. Nothing like a 300% gain on another swing play. It only took about a month or less. That seems to be the time frame for the giant moves on our swing plays. And one of my top swing plays right now, my favorite play as we wait for news, is Ogen. Now, this is the Ogen weekly chart that I talked about on Tuesday. We got that big pop. We actually broke above the weekly resistance level, and of course we came back down. But this is an excellent setup going into the next couple of months. This chart just looks great. Now, if we flip over to the daily chart, we got that break above the range. We broke out above it, and then we came right back down. Believe it or not, this is actually very healthy when we break these kinds of consolidations on the chart and get a big upward move. They almost always tend to come back and then consolidate. Now, remember, this one broke up on the speculation. We have yet to get the press release for these guys. This is the cheapest vaccine stock there is out there, under $1. We know they have a trial coming, and the research I posted out there on Wednesday, I believe, the terms in that SEC filing are extremely bullish for Ogen. The company that they bought, they're going to pay them in shares and warrants that are worth $1.25 to $2.50 plus. And there's also terms in there about getting funding from the NIH, from BARDA. You don't throw those kinds of terms in there unless you expect that kind of news to come. So this is an excellent stock. We're going to be looking to pick up dips on this one as we wait. Now, remember, a lot of these COVID-19 stocks, we are waiting on news. When will the news come? I don't know. It could come Monday morning. It could come a month from now. That is the thing on these stocks, but we know it's coming. So when we see big dips, we jump into said big dips. Here is the 1 hour chart here. We had that big pop. We came back right down. We've got a nice support line in the 70 to 72 cent area. Now, MACD is pretty negative and stochastics is potentially bottomed out here. So I would say we should see a move back upward on this one in the coming week. I'm going to start off with the bigger swing plays I have and then go from there. The other big swing play, of course, is AYRO, and we got rewarded nicely for our patience on Friday. The stock finally was able to briefly break out above that consolidation range. We are about to get that golden cross. That is when the 50-day moving average, the blue line, breaks up above the 200-day moving average. Very, very bullish. We broke up above it briefly and then came right back down. Again, my target on this one is 5 to 10 plus, and I think that target could be conservative as well. I posted an article that one of you guys gave me there on Thursday regarding them doubling their capacity. There's actually been no press release on that. When we see the market caps that some of these other EV stocks have, like that three-wheel thing, Solo and FUV and Workhorse, you know, 100, 200, $500 million market caps, and then that other China potential scam IDEX with a $500 million market cap at one time, and we see this one sitting around 40 million. It just seems absolutely dirt cheap. Now this range may see a pushback again. I mean, I would be a buyer of this stock under 3 in the long-term account. That Friday or Thursday move may have finally set this one up for the move that we know is coming. We've got RSI breaking up, stochastics breaking up. We've got this change in ADX. So this is a, if they dip it, we will buy kind of stock. Now, where are all these shares coming from, you ask? These guys merged with a sketchy company called DCAR with really bad management and a lot of shorts. That is what we are working through on this stock right here. Sometimes it blows up and wipes these guys out. Sometimes they're able to keep their foot on the neck of this stock for a while, but eventually there's no stopping the upward momentum. INUV, this is our advertising stock. I'm honestly surprised this stock is still down near under $1. We've got the AI advertising. This is going to be a nasty election cycle. There's a lot of AI going into hunting down potential voters. This is big for these guys. And Facebook. Advertisers are bailing from Facebook. Despite what you're seeing on the news and despite that stock still going up, advertisers are bailing from these social media apps and they're looking to deploy their money more. We've got a lot of ads hitting these connected TVs. This is what these guys do. This chart is deeply oversold on the MACD. Look at this, stochastics from the video we looked at before. This curve, I love seeing this when we see charts like this. So we're about to break up. We've got an extreme negative MACD. We got a chart that looks beautiful like this, an RSI right here. This chart looks locked and loaded for the near term. Now, keep in mind, there isn't a shelf sitting out there. I don't think they're going to do any offering below the price of what they did. Every offering this company has done has been at a higher price than the ones they did before. The last one was around 45 cents. It didn't even dip below that. So I'm not concerned. If we do get hit with a shelf, I'm going to be buying shares no matter if there is a dip. This chart looks too good. The story's too good. This next wave should take it over $1. COCP has so much going for it. But again, like these other plays, we're waiting for a press release. So we're at the mercy of the back and forth action on stocks like this, waiting for the breakout move. Now, when the press release comes, they'll probably have absolutely no qualms chasing this stock at 2+. AIKI, look at this setup. We got a huge pop last week. We've come right back down. But the reason I put this one next to the COCP chart, Remember when we were in this one and sitting and we were just going, man, if they eventually let this stock go, it had this big move back in February and March and then just sideways pattern and then went whoop, 75%. AIKI, exact same chart as we saw on Cockpy before that big move. So we're doing that back and forth, sideways action. We've got very strong support around the 80 area. Anything in the 70s, I think, is an accumulate in the swing position. This ADX is just super, super strong. This is another one. We get a press release, they'll have no problem chasing the stock 50 to 100% higher. Quick mention on FRSX, we are waiting on the COVID-19 thermal scanner news, period. We're about to get a MACD cross. Stochastics look good. Again, we are just patiently waiting for a press release. Speaking of press releases, DSS, they did a small offering on Thursday, smacked the stock down, but it held that offering price at $6. So now that offering is out of the way, we're oversold like you wouldn't believe on every indicator here. I added to my swing position here. 20-day is at 714. Now refer to that 20-day, the moving average. This is my favorite moving average on sell-offs. That's up there at the 7s right now. So that is a nice bounce spot for this one. Actually, let's see where that is on the daily chart, where the 20-day is right now. The 20-day moving average on the daily chart is at 821. I love, this is an extreme. This is 33% below its 20-day. And as you can see on big moves up and big moves down, this stock always goes back to that green line. So that would be the bounce target. Again, we're waiting for that merger news on their COVID-19 biotech. Bingo bongo. Big event this week. Who is going to China? We're waiting for that move. You know, eventually we're going to get that move up to the 200-day moving average. MACD cross is on the horizon. Biok has strong support right now at the 60 level. Strong uptrend support, and that's the area of the recent breakout. And we had that golden cross. So again, it's another one. It's going to go back and forth until we get a press release and they start to change. The same as for Chivas, CHFS, that this stock is still under 50 cents with what we're seeing on the surge of cases. And these guys actually help with fluid management. It's another one of those no-brainer stocks that when they drop news, people will have no problem chasing it. I know you guys get impatient sitting on a lot of these plays, but they have big events coming and a little bit of patience goes a long way. HDGM, we had more big research connecting these guys with COVID-19, but we're at the mercy of these investor relations departments and them putting out press releases. 68 to 70 cents is the breakout there. I think I have a daily chart here. This is another one that's got a golden cross coming very, very soon. So hopefully that coincides with that press release. Scone, S-C-O-N. Now, Scone has a couple of big things going for it. A, it's got an excellent chart. B, check this out on MACD. Extreme negative MACDs. And each time it's gotten worse. And after each one, the very first one in March, this one popped 100%. The next one, this one popped 200%. And here we have another extreme negative and the exact same kind of chart setup. Chasers at 45. FOMO's at 50, everyone else up here. What's going to drive it? There is an EV angle that I posted on this one. They do electric motors. Companies merging with another company. Stochastics in the basement. This one looks great into next week. Quick mention on Space B. Again, waiting for a press release. This is a COVID tracking type play, but we've got a nice breakout looming on this one. Like the last time when we got in here, no one wanted it. No one wanted it. No press release. Oh yeah, sure. I'm going to chase it up 100%. So here we are again, back and forth, back and forth. They'll be chasing it up here. What the press release knows that does it, who knows? Quick mention on JAGX, because if I don't mention JAGX, guys are going to be hanging themselves going, what about JAGX? We're just waiting on news. Again, another COVID-19 waiting on news. 50 cents is the break. Daily chart is oversold. Now, on these kind of charts, I'm actually going to go forward here. Like Ogen, you've got charts that are trapped in this range. They hit the bottom of the range, they go up. then they come back down. But when these kinds of charts break out of these kinds of range, they tend to go really, really big. So even though the target is 65 cents here, it will probably blast up to $1 if it got a press release and news when it broke out of this range. So that's just something to consider here. Quick mention on RGLS, very, very frustrating stock, again, at the mercy of getting a press release. Small swing play, you know, it'll probably end up being like Job. Out of the blue, everyone likes to chase it way higher. So that's it. It was a long video. I tried to shorten it up here, guys. Today's discount code is 51. So that will give you 51 bucks off the 3-month membership. That is Gold 2. So enjoy your holiday weekend, relax, and I will see you all on Monday in the chat room. Bye.